Hello Leo, and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name's Colette and I'm here today to do a reading for all you Leos, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising out there. If this reading doesn't resonate with you, because it is just a general reading, it's not going to be for everybody. Not all you Leos are going to resonate with this reading, but if you are interested in checking out your other signs, because it's a reading for Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising, there will be a free natal link in the description box down below where you can go and check out your other placements, and also maybe go and look and see if the other readings that I've done recently over the past Aries season, because we're now moved into Taurus season, so these are from the Taurus season forward readings that I will be doing, and see if any of those previous readings make more sense to you, and also the readings that I'm going to be putting out in the future as well. And for you cross watchers out there interested in a Leo, in a relationship with a Leo, or have been in a relationship with a Leo, there is also the kind of feeling here that you need to be aware that this can be reversed. A reading can be reversed, so you may be listening to it thinking that you're listening for the Leo in your life, or not in your life anymore, as the case may be, when actually the story is for yourself. So just be open and just be aware to the possibility that that could be the case for you Leo cross watchers as well. So I'm going to start your reading, Leo, as I am doing with all the readings at this time, is with a major Arcana card taken from the Gilded tarot deck. But today you got two cards come out together, Leo. These two cards came out together, very strong cards, both of these. Sun card came out first, and I didn't realise that underneath it was the World card, and I just thought, okay, they just want to go together. They just want to go together. So I've decided to let you have two major Arcana cards here, Leo. So the Sun card, first of all, we'll just quickly talk about the Sun card and what it represents. It represents, because this is the overall kind of flavour for your reading, if you like. It's kind of the overall energy for what the reading is trying to say here. And the Sun card, for me, it represents a time of clarity, a time of seeing things clearly. It's a very kind of courageous card in some ways. You yourself, being a Leo, will be ruled by the Sun. The Sun is your ruler. It's your ruling planet is the Sun. And it also connects to the heart chakra as well, the Sun. It's also about coming from your heart, Leo, as well. And it also talks, so if you look in this card, there's all these different planets which are circling round the Sun as well. So it is talking about you being kind of the centre of this universe, of your own kind of universe, and radiating out from there. I get a sense of radiating out from there rather than kind of pulling things in. It's more like you are radiating your awareness and your clarity and your insight, which I feel is something that you're getting at this time, Leo. You're getting more of an understanding of things. You're seeing a bigger picture. You're looking through the how can I put this? You're looking through the darkness, the kind of murkiness, the kind of feeling of I'm getting a feeling of you kind of just realise. It's a realisation card in many ways as well. It's like you're realising things that you before hadn't necessarily been aware of. And it's come out with this card here, the World card, which is just really kind of saying that this is cycles here. You are ending something here, Leo, but you're also moving towards a new beginning. And actually these cards, when they came out originally, how I saw them was like this. So I see her here. Doesn't have to be a her. Gender is not what this is about. But she's kind of looking towards this sun here. She's kind of looking towards, and the sun also, of course, represents like a higher energy, a higher, like in Egyptian period, they would kind of, you know, not only did they worship the sun, which they did as Ra, but they also believed that the sun was communicated, like it had information. And it's interesting that even today, you know, our scientists are beginning to realize that the sun can affect our DNA as well. And the sun does have like what it gives out, what the sun gives out in the solar winds and the things that bombard our planet, the neutrinos, these tiny, tiny little things called neutrinos, which kind of pass through everything because they're just energy. They don't get blocked or stopped by anything. They just pass through everything. But as they're doing so, they can kind of send messages in a way to our DNA as well. So there is also a kind of story behind that here as well, because I feel on some level that you are kind of taking the world in your hand here. It's like there's an upgrade, there's a ending, you're closing something out. There's a victory, there's success. And this card is also very much about success and victory as well. But I also feel today that there's something about higher learning involved in this as well. Maybe you're going to become more interested in the bigger picture of the workings of the universe as well, Leo. And the time of the planets all connecting together. This could also connect with all the major changes that are happening on our planet at this moment in time, and how the planets have come together and things have changed. And I'm always going on about the big conjunction that took place in January, on 12th of January, but it really was a major effect, and it is like we are kind of seeing, and we're coming out of a time of darkness as well, I feel, Leo, in this card here. But with the world here, there's something else that I find interesting, is what she's wearing, because it's purple. Purple for me always connects with the kind of crown chakra. And you've also got the moon in the background here as well, kind of the crescent moon there. So you've kind of the sun, the moon and the world all together here. And what I was saying about her, kind of what she's wearing and her stance as well, it's very strong, it's very confident. There's a real kind of confidence in that for me today. But this, I feel, is kind of the connection with the bigger picture. It's like you're seeing the connection, you're seeing how things are all connected together. It's like you're beginning to realize that there is so much more to your world, your life, your picture, your story, and you're connecting with it on some level. You're connecting, it's like you're putting all the pieces together. That's how I'm getting it coming through. You're putting all the pieces together. And just in these two cards, Leo, it's a huge amount of information. So I'm going to move on quickly and tell you that at the centre of your reading, at the very heart of your reading today, Leo, is Three of Air, or the Three of Swords. And I always see this card as a painful card. It's a painful situation. There's something that's happened here. It's a ghost card for me. It's the kind of staying in the past with something and you haven't kind of moved on from it. So you haven't, there's a need here for you to, like, I see her very much. Again, it doesn't have to be a her, but there's a suffering here. It's like she's very kind of, she's kind of trying to soothe herself and protect herself. At the same time, she's also, I feel, kind of ignoring this light that's behind her. And this light is very bright, and it reminds me of the sunlight, really, of how bright the sunlight is. And I feel as though there's a situation that is keeping you stuck in this past. But you just need to turn around, Leo, and kind of the light is there. Almost like a tunnel of light somehow I'm seeing this as today. Giving up something to the light. Realising that it's no longer who you are. It's no longer it's affecting your life still, because it has caused you so much pain and heartache, Leo. But at the same time, it's like saying that it's only doing it because you are holding on to it. That if you can let it go, this figure here kind of for me represents that actual energy itself of whatever it is that you are still kind of mourning in a way. There's a feeling of something that you're still holding on to and you're carrying around with you. And it's keeping you kind of in a past place where you don't need to be. And I think that's what this sun here is saying, is that there is something that you can see the light, you can come out of the darkness, out of the sorrow and the sadness, and into this much more brighter, happier, again more kind of successful and more like ending of a cycle. There's also possibly feelings of guilt and remorse and wanting, I get the feeling of wanting to leave it in the past, wanting a new cycle, wanting things to move on, but at the same time not quite knowing how to go about it. Or if you know, can you allow it? Can you allow that to happen? There's a sense of, what am I getting here, Leo? There's a sense of somehow kind of mourning, a sense of loyalty maybe also to this situation that you can't let go of. But it's crossed over with the 10 of water or the 10 of cups here. So this is your challenge, and your challenge is to find that happiness. Going with the flow with the 10 of cups. To find that inner happiness. There's a similarity here again with these two cards. This is very solid. So I'm picking up here. This is very solid. This is very kind of, and it reminds me somehow of this situation, or this card here as well. Like her stance is very solid. It's very kind of, again, that sense of proudness I get from this. This sense of kind of achievement, of having done something that's been, that you've learnt from. growth. A feeling of growth here as well, Leo. But this is solid, whereas this is very much like, it's very translucent. It's almost like, you know, it's almost opaque. It's almost like you could put your hand through it. Very much like a ghost. So it could have something also to do with you possibly for some of you Leos also having been ghosted, or feeling like you've been ghosted, like, you know, there's a situation where you feel as though you've been kind of trapped in a way in this place because you haven't been able to express maybe as well how you're feeling. 3 of air, air being about communication. But I don't feel as though there is any communication here. I feel as though if you look at her hand here, it's literally like holding, you know, it's like holding herself, holding her throat, holding herself over her heart. And just this sense of kind of really a protection, protecting as well. Protecting your space, protecting your understanding of something as well. Like how you see something, how you saw the situation, how you, I'm kind of just getting this sense that you haven't spoken about it, you haven't necessarily really voiced it. And my voice went really squeaky when I said that. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe that's got something to do with that. And you need to release that to find that happiness, that kind of inner happiness that you're looking for. And that movement, it's kind of like, you know, with this water flowing around him, it's like he sits here and the water has to move around him. He's not moving around it. And he's just kind of joyful at being, really. That's how I feel. It's just about being. It's about finding your happiness in being, Leo. So let's see what else unfolds here. In your head, Leo, again, you got 2 cards. And again, they came out kind of very strongly together, shall we say, because sometimes 2 cards come out and I think, no, it's just the 1 card. But today, again, I'm feeling that these go well together, because there's a feeling I'm getting here with the 8 of fire, or the 8 of wands, usually about communication. This is what's in your head. So I'm feeling that there is this kind of feeling, or it's need that you are feeling, and you are beginning to want to communicate something. There is this fan here, so that is kind of still being, in a way, held back. But you're beginning to come around to the idea here that something needs to be said. And I often liken this to being like a curtain, and it's almost like you've pulled the veil over it. You've pulled the veil down over whatever it is, and so whatever it is behind, I feel behind this veil here, which is this energy. It's like this energy is here, and it's almost like you're sitting there in front of it, again, kind of protecting this with this. That's what I'm feeling today. is that you're feeling very protective towards this. And you may not want to talk about it, but in your head you're coming to the realization that you do actually need to voice it, communicate it, even if you are kind of feeling at the same time protective. That's how I'm feeling today about this. It's kind of this protective energy. That whatever's behind here, you kind of are not wanting. And it's almost like you've got all these here. I'm seeing these here today as these kind of distractions that you're putting out there, Leo. There's kind of all these kind of distractions for you to focus your attention on, so that you, and for other people to focus their attention on as well. So in a way, it's kind of like you're saying, you're putting this out to the world, this kind of, what you're showing to the world is this kind of like, you know, I'm okay, look at all this. Look at all this that I'm doing. Look at all this that I'm creating. Look at all this. I'm okay. But behind all of this, which is the face the world is seeing, is this, which is what you're not wanting to acknowledge or show to the rest of the world, or those closest to you, really, the rest of the world as such, but those around you that are close to you at this time. And we also have the Empress here as well. And again, I get the feeling of this kind of, if you see here, her eyes are almost covered as well. And this is a very abundant card. The Empress is usually a very abundant card. She's usually very strong in her own energy. She represents everything that is feminine. She represents all the nurturing, the nature, the mothering instincts. Again, that doesn't have to be just for women, but it is a very female energy. And so I feel on some level that there is kind of a comfort here as well. With this here, this comfort, this, again, I'm getting this feeling of like, because I'm really drawn to this today, of this kind of headdress and the fact that her eyes are barely able to be seen. So again, it's very similar to this energy here of I'm not really showing who I actually am. That kind of feminine energy, I feel on some level, is being repressed. Or not accepted. And it's weird because it's not in reverse, which would be why I would normally think that. But today it's come out reverse, but because it's come out with this card here, I'm still getting this strong sense of something that's not being completely up front. Again, just this sense of a lot of elaborateness. And the Empress, I mean, she represents the mothering energy. So for some of you Leos, there could be out there some of you that are hiding this side of yourself. Hiding the maybe even hiding the truth to yourself about or you're having to like look at your mother or your own mothering skills, because this can also be generational. This can also relate to grandmothers, great grandmothers. It's that kind of energy that is passed down from generation to generation, to do with child rearing and the way that we nurture, nature and nurture. But we'll see what else comes out with that card. I'm going to move on from that and see what else comes out when I do the rest of the reading. In your past, Leo, what's moving away? This again is very much your kind of energy, and we have the sun here again as well. Holding your heart in your hands here, Leo. There may have been a situation where somebody got burnt, literally. They gave their heart away to somebody who didn't necessarily respect it, take care of it, look after it. This is what's moving away. This is what's been in the past. This is the past energy of you wanting to give your heart to somebody, I feel. That you trusted somebody, that you gave your heart to. Or you're still in that energy now where you are kind of wondering to yourself, is it safe to give my heart? Again, very fiery energy, very, just very King of Fire, King of Wands, energy of Sagittarius, Aries, and yourselves, Leo. And not always an easy energy to live up to as well. There can be an energy with these characters of being kind of larger than life characters. This could relate to yourself, Leo, that you could have been that larger than life character. You could have come over to somebody in a way that was very kind of, I wouldn't say intimidating as such, but somebody who felt as though they couldn't live up to your standards, or they couldn't kind of reach the same heights as you in a way. Again, we'll see what comes out with the rest of this reading. Down below, you also got another 2 cards here as well. And this is my card of kind of distraction and dilemma. It's upside down, so there is this feeling that something that happened caused you some distraction. It caused you to kind of turn off your path. It caused you to question what you were doing, why you were doing it, what was it about, who was it for, was it working for you? This is an earth energy, 7 of earth, so it's all about our values, all about what you value, what you put your time and your energy and your effort into. And I feel as though you were kind of what's the word I'm looking for? You were focused, you were kind of knowing what you were doing, you had a plan, you were working through things, and then this kind of distraction came in and kind of threw you off course, threw you totally out of kind of balance, out of line, out out of your comfort zone, even, is what I'm getting here. Out of your comfort zone. And you've got the 6 of fire that's come out with it as well. And so there's a feeling here of something that you had to rise above, Leo. You needed to rise above it. If you look here, this balloon is kind of rising up. And this is in your subconscious. This is your kind of the unknown layer, if you like, of what's causing the rest of everything else to happen. So where you are today, this is your kind of the root energy from where it's all come from. But again, these 2 cards came out together. And I just get this sense of kind of elevation, of you rising above something, of you having to kind of move on. But you took the risk here. That you got distracted by whatever this was that came in, that was on your path, that you weren't expecting. And it kind of, I feel in some ways it elevated you out of where you were. There's also a sense here that this energy was quite kind of like the same thing day after day, like just kind of almost automative energy, like where you just doing the kind of going through the motions kind of thing, just going through the motions. You were just kind of living your life, but not really in it, if you know, understand what I mean, like not really kind of in it, not really experiencing it, or not really enjoying it, or not really, it's just like it was there and you just got on with it until this came along. But this kind of has caused you, or did cause you, to leave all of that behind. It's, I feel as though this kind of just took you out of that whole world that you were living in at that time. It just took you completely. You just went with it, Leo. And it was exciting. It was exciting. It was like a chance of a lifetime in a way. That's kind of the energy that I'm feeling here. Kind of a chance of a lifetime. You couldn't kind of turn it down. You couldn't ignore it. You couldn't. It was like full on. I have to do this. This is my chance. I have to do this. This is my chance to escape the life that I'm in now. And this is the life that you are in now, I feel. It's kind of just going over the same scenario day after day. And the energy that's moving in for you, Leos, is the Hermit. A time of seclusion. A time of kind of... And I feel, again, it's got something to do with this energy here. Of you hiding yourself away. Because if you see here, you can see the face kind of coming through the door here. And I feel that there's something about this energy that you're not ready to release maybe, because that's what I feel this needs to happen here. Is this, there needs to be this release, but you still are in this space of kind of keeping yourself blocked away, locked away. Kind of this here and this here reminds me of very similar kind of energy. Like I was saying, this is kind of a curtain, this is a kind of a veil that is over your, the kind of face you show to the world and what's actually going on behind the scene. And I feel the same thing here, like you pop your face out to kind of show it to the world. But what's going on behind this door is a very different story. And it could even have something to do with this energy here, what's going on behind this door. Hermit's in reverse. The Empress is up the right way. The Hermit is all about looking for answers, seeking answers on a deeper level. At the same time going into like your shadow energy as well. Cutting out things that no longer work. And I also feel on some level with these keys here and this keyhole here. There's something to do with these keys and kind of finding the right key for the right keyhole. Which is symbolic on some level of you trying to find your inner truth and happiness. That's what I feel that this is. About you finding your inner truth and your inner happiness. And knowing that you have this abundance as well. You are this abundance. You have this connection with everything and you are that abundance. That it all flows from you and back to you again. That's what I think the kind of flowing energy is here as well. About it flowing, there's something about it flowing, there's something about cycles as well, like you can't make things happen before the right time, like you can't harvest until the time is ready. And if you try and harvest too soon as well, then things can go wrong, which I feel somehow is why you've also got kind of this 3 here as well, because something happened in a situation that should really have kind of been something more joyful, something that you were really putting your heart and your soul and your passion and your drive and your desire into. But the cycles again to do, yeah, the cycles here as well. So I feel that this hermit time is going to be a time of you kind of coming to some understanding on a deeper level about who you are. And aligning more with your own inner knowledge. Your own understanding of you, and that it's time to show who you really are and not just show, or not just, yeah, show the world the person that you think the world wants to see or for you to be, Leo. So let's see what else we have come out here. It's taken a while, this reading, so I'm going to have to kind of speed it up a bit. There's been more cards than usual for a start, Leo, but also I feel as though it's been a bit of a struggle, which could be how you yourselves are feeling as well, Leo. You could be feeling as though you're really struggling with things here, because this reading has been a bit of a, yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle, and it doesn't feel as though the voice wants to come easily. It doesn't feel as though it's flowing easily. So let's see what we've got. 10 of Pentacles, the Death card, and the 6 of Swords have come out for the centre, for the heart of the reading. So this is saying to me that there was something that had been kind of worked towards. It's in reverse, 10 of Pentacles. Something had been achieved, something had been worked towards, or something was being worked towards and achieved, but it didn't work out fully as it should have done. Something happened, because there's a death here as well. There's a death, and then there's a moving away. So whatever that felt like was your achievement, your happiness, your because it's a very kind of family orientated card here. It talks of putting your time, your money, your effort, your value into something that's going to feed you back as well. So whether that was personal, whether that was business orientated, but I do get the feeling that this is more about relationship than it is to do with business. But ultimately it's more about the individual, it's more about the person. It's not just about your outer world, it's about your inner world here. So whether it's business or relationship, ultimately it's about you, who you are, Leo, as a person. So the 10 of Pentacles, and then there was a death, a transformation. Something happened here which caused ending, really. This is Pluto energy, and when Pluto kind of says it's end time, and there's not a lot you can do about it, I'm afraid, Leo. But there was a reluctance here, because it's in reverse. I feel that this wasn't given up easily. This wasn't something that was taken, like there has been, again, going back to this 3 here, there has been pain over this, there has been suffering, there has been lots of feelings of remorse and guilt, and again I get the feeling of loyalty in some way as well. Loyalty to the idea, loyalty to something that you kind of had really pinned your hopes on, Leo. And the 6 of Swords is saying that this caused a movement away. You had to leave it behind. You had to move forward into more calmer waters. This caused a lot of emotional turmoil. And you ended up having to take yourself away from it. So let's see what's in your head. Why we have the 8 of Fire and the Empress here. The 8 of Fire and the Empress. It could also be at the moment, Leo, that you're finding some strength within the feminine energy around you as well. But the female energy is... But I still feel on some level it's something to do with the female energy within yourself. Why is the Eight of Fire here and the Empress? Please, universe. Why does Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising have the Eight of Fire and the Empress card here? Speak to me, cards. Tell me what you're feeling. Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising. Why is the Eight of Fire and the Empress here? Getting all these cards together at the moment, they're all kind of springing out. Okay, we have the Hermit, we have Temperance, and we have the Five of Cups. So we have the Hermit twice, which is saying to me that you have put yourself into this headspace. You are hermiting, even if you're out and about, even if you're, which at this moment in time is a bit difficult to be involved with other people because of the situation that we're all finding ourselves in. So there is this kind of hermit energy going on around us all anyway at this moment in time. But you are kind of even more hermity, if that makes any sense, because you've got double hermit energy here. Reversed and upright. And this is in your head. So this is going along with these two cards here, which I was talking about earlier with this Eight of Fire, of you kind of showing yourself one way and not showing the world who you actually are. And this Empress energy here, which I'm still not completely convinced about. But this Hermit coming out up the right way is kind of saying to me that you are needing to go within to find your answers, and it's related to this energy. It's related to this Empress here and the Eight of Fire as well, because it's about you not being true to yourself or accepting something within yourself. But the Hermit energy is very much about this kind of withdrawing from things, withdrawing from the outer world and kind of looking more in the inner world energy. And you've got the Temperance card as well, which is a beautiful card because this talks about focus on your relationships, focusing on your heart. I always see this as kind of heart and mind energy, masculine and feminine, the gold and the silver, the flowing of the kind of one to the other. But it's also got the Five of Cups here. So something has happened where somebody ran out on somebody else. But I get the feeling that the person who ran out on the other person already felt that the other person had already run out on them. I hope that makes sense, Leo. I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say here. All these spilt cups are situations where things didn't go the way that you thought they were going to go. So this person here left the scene, leaving this person here because they already felt or thought or felt this person wasn't being honest with them, truthful with them, open with them. There's a situation here and I feel as well with this Hermit card here And possibly also this Empress. Maybe this is what the energy is about here, that somebody tried to be, maybe somebody tried to be, I'm getting the sense of a mother that isn't a mother but was trying to be a mother, in the sense of they kind of mothered this person, or they wanted to, yeah, I just get the sense of they kind of ended up having to mother somebody who really wasn't a child and didn't need to be mothered. And so the relationship kind of, the relationship dynamic, which should have been about a relationship between two people who were kind of an equal balance, it wasn't there. That's what I'm kind of feeling with this Empress card. This Empress card has been eluding me this whole time, but I think that that's the story that I'm kind of picking up here as well. And this other person, Leo, this is either you, Leo, or the other person. Somebody went into hermit mode because of this. Somebody disappeared inside themselves. And they're still trying to find themselves. They're still trying to work out who they are, what they're about, why they're here. All the big questions. But it's to do with this energy here as well. Very strong mothering energy here. And maybe, Leo, you also need to look at your own, like I was saying, your own mothering energy, and your own mother and grandparents, etc., and how they have been mothers also, because mothering can also, although it's not up the wrong way, although it's not in reverse, there can be very strong elements of going to put it like mother, a powerful, very powerful mother, like dominant kind of energy. Or somebody who's being very driven by this energy. Who just wants to mother. Somebody just wants to mother. But it caused a kind of breakdown in the relationship somehow. Let's see what the King of Fire has to say here. Why is the King of Fire here? Why is the King of Fire here for Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising energy? Why do we have the King of Fire here? King of Fire. Why do we have the King of Fire? Okay. 3 cards again. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Queen of Swords and the 8 of Pentacles. So this is an energy of the past, what's moving away. And so I feel in reverse there was this opportunity that didn't necessarily turn out because it's in reverse. So the Ace of Pentacles is always about, all the aces are about opportunity. They're about new energy. They're about something that comes in and it has the ability to grow into something else. But it's in reverse here. And so is this energy here as well, which is the Queen of Swords, which is kind of saying to me that there is this emotional block. That there has been this emotional block, and it's to do with this card here. Talking about here with the heart in the hand and offering, somebody offering something, but the emotions not being... I feel as though this situation didn't feed, nurture, give any growth. There was a lack of reciprocity, a lack of kind of, yeah, two ways. It was kind of one-sided in many ways. And then we have this Queen here, which is saying to me about the communication, and also here where you're protecting this part of your body here. I feel very much that this is the turquoise colour for me, is always about the head, sorry, the heart and the throat energy. She herself is about the head. This is all about the logical mind and trying to make sense of something on a logical basis rather than with the emotions and the heart, because here she's just pouring her emotions out onto barren soil. So it wasn't... I get a strong feeling here that somebody was very kind of not understood. There was a lot of kind of, yeah, feelings of not being understood as to who they were and what they were actually about. Their actual identity, who they themselves were, and it kind of... They lost themselves, or you, Leo, lost yourselves in that, who you were and your emotions, and it just seemed pointless. You just seemed to be pouring your emotions out without them actually being recognised. And so you kind of buried yourself in this situation here of work. You took, sorry, pentacle. You took this pentacle here, which you originally had hoped was going to be for more than just you, and you ended up kind of putting your time and your energy and your focus into this instead. And kind of trying to use it as a distraction, possibly. I feel some level that this also represents this energy here, this pentacle and this heart together. So I feel that with this card here, it was like you decided to go it alone. There was a kind of go it alone energy here that kicked in. I'm going to do this for myself then. I will do it on my own, for myself, by myself. I will look after my needs. But it was also a way through a difficult situation. It was also a way for you to not have to focus on your emotional past as well, or what you were going through or living through at that time, Leos. Sorry about that. Card just dived on the floor. I shall have to retrieve it. There we go. Oh. Again, we have 3. 3. seems to be the magic number today. So we have down below the situation here of where you kind of got distracted and kind of lifted out of one world and into another. We have the Two of Pentacles, which I feel is you kind of arriving at your new destination and starting out again and saying, right, hey, I've got all my tools here, I'm ready to go, let's go. Then you had the Queen of Pentacles, which is earth energy of Taurus, Virgo and Capricorns. So I would say it's a feminine energy, but it's also about your, again, your worth, your confidence, your ability, stability, groundedness, and it's up the wrong way. It's in reverse. So Leo, either there was somebody who had this energy about them, had this earth type energy, this Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy strongly in their chart, or this was your energy kind of feeling on rocky ground, almost like kind of like feeling up in the air, not rooted, not grounded. Something happened with this Two of Pentacles, between the Two of Pentacles, and of course we had this Death card here as well. So there was this death, there was something that happened here, something that you had some relationship with this person here, Leo, this energy, and somebody who you felt a very strong bond with. There was a kind of connection on a, like you both wanted the same thing, or at least you thought you did, Leo. You thought you both wanted the same thing. And the World card has come out again. It came out earlier as one of your major overall energy cards here. And so at the time that this happened, because this is the subconscious realm, this caused an ending. There was an ending and there was a beginning where you had to move away. You had to leave what you had behind, and you had to move away from it again, because this, I feel, is strongly related to this energy here with this Queen of Pentacles here. Very strong connection, the Pentacle energy. You thought, Leo, that you were going to have, like, this was a happy ending, like this was stability, this is what you'd been wanting, hoping for, and working towards. You were willing to work towards it, but it ended. The cycle ended. And you had to leave it. And it's still affecting you today, Leo. You're still in that energy with that Three of Swords that I was talking about earlier, the Three of Air. That is still kind of hanging around. It hasn't been really spoken about. It hasn't really been finalised, I feel, as well, on some level. Let's see why the Hermit's here. Why is the Hermit energy here? Why is the Hermit energy here twice for Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising? Why does Leo, Sun, Moon, Venus and Rising have the Hermit energy twice in this reading? You've got a few cards twice in this reading, Leo. You've got the World twice. You've got the Hermit twice. Oh, we have the Emperor. And it came out the right way. So the Emperor with the Hermit card is saying to me that this is, as I was saying, like this is you kind of poking your head out and not really knowing who you are. And then this is you finally realizing that you are quite something. You are quite something. You are, if you see here, he's got the world in his hand. This is Zeus. I mean, this is the top god in Greek mythology. You don't get any higher than this god here, this character in his very purple, higher energy, higher chakra, connecting colour. I always feel that this is all about this kind of connection, and with the Hermit card here I feel as though this is where you're going to suddenly realise that you are this kind of connected divine being, and you deserve to be treated in that way. You deserve to have somebody who's going to see how amazing you are, see that you have so much potential, so much that you are open to give, but also open to accept as well. It's just a very strong energy, the Emperor. He's very confident, he's very sure of who he is, he's very he's very powerful in his own way. He's the Emperor. I mean, when you're an Emperor, you can basically do whatever you want to do. That's really what it's saying with this world in his hands as well. It's like, you know, the world is your oyster. As soon as you kind of wake up and realise how powerful the energy within you actually is, which is what I feel. If you look here, you can see that this face here even has a similarity to that face there as well. Kind of see a real, again, like he's crowned here, and he's crowned here as well. So for me, that is all to do with this higher energy as well, this kind of wake up, this kind of sudden understanding in many ways of your connection to the divine, and that connection is what makes you who you are. That connection is what kind of bringing it down into the physical realm, because the Emperor is a very solid, grounded, again, physical being here. Zeus being the top god, he worked within the very physical realm though. He kind of had control over the elements, the thunder and all the other gods and goddesses as well. So this isn't about ego and being ego driven, which can also be a Leo thing, because Leo is ruled in some ways by the ego. But this, I feel, is more about realizing that your connection to something bigger than you makes you more worthy than you realized. And that everything is connected as well. And that was what I got from this earlier today. The same thing here with this purple colour that she's wearing here with these little stars on. It's all about this realisation that everything is connected. And you've got the Emperor. I've just realised the Emperor and the Empress have come out in the same reading together. Here we have this Empress energy. We now have the Emperor energy. So there's also this balance here as well, which you are looking for, Leo, I feel. You are looking for this balance. You're looking for your Emperor or your Empress. You're looking to find that perfect partner, somebody who's going to be the masculine to your feminine, or feminine to your masculine. You could be male but have a lot of feminine energy within you. You could be feminine and have a lot of masculine energy within you. It's the balance and knowing how to use the balance within you is what this is about, Leo. So I feel on some level that it could also be about you actually meeting your emperor. Somebody who's going to give you that element of feeling emperor energy, shall we say. So let's just see what the wisdom cards have to say, and we have one that's popped out already, and it says a personal issue reaches resolution. There we go, full moon in Cancer. A personal issue is going to reach resolution, which is, I feel, this energy here. This is your personal issue. Maybe it's about the masculine, the divine masculine as well. Can also represent the father energy as well. So it could have something to do with the mother and the father energy here. The masculine and the feminine energies. And the Namaste blessing card you got was this card here, which reminds me again of the sun coming through. And I do feel as though there is going to be clarity on this situation. And things will move on. There will be change within yourself. So very quickly it says, the blessing of patience. A blessing comes disguised as a setback or delay. This card is confirmation that you are on the right path. With patience and perseverance, you will reach your goal. All is accomplished in perfect time. Which is what I think the Sun card and the World card here are kind of saying as well, about perfect time, divine time, and also cycles of time as well. That you can't rush things. And that Empress energy here being all about cycles of time as well, not rushing something before it's ready. You can't force a situation to happen before the time it's supposed to happen in, and if you do, then the situation won't be how it should be, and you won't be as satisfied with it, even though you might feel as though you've got what you want on some level. You could find that it doesn't completely work out. There'll be something not right about it, something missing because you didn't give it enough time, which is also this card here as well. Patience, time, temperance, to temper something. Patience, healing as well, but also patience. So maybe that's also got something to do with it. And the Crystal Diva card that I pulled for you is the Carrot, and it's all about commitment. And I feel the commitment is to yourself. Again, it's purple as well, also purple. So I feel on some level this is about commitment to you, Leo. This is Third Eye, and it is purple. And it says, our homeland is near the Ciro River in Russia. Hearing that image hearing that, images flood your mind of what you believe Russia to be. You picture a country whose people are as cold as its climate. You associate Russia with clothing that is drab and outdated, belief systems that are rigid and unyielding, and a government that has permitted few moments of freedom or happiness for its citizenry. And yet this country that seems 30 years behind the times is a superpower. Interesting. That's, I think, this energy here. Superpower. Equalled only by America in the area of nuclear technology, political strategy and world leadership. Whether its goals are worthwhile or not is not a question we will address here, but Russia has been very successful. What fuels its superiority? And that was a word that was in my head, but I didn't want to use it because I don't feel that this is about superiority. I feel it's more about you finding your how can I put it? Your understanding and your awareness of you being allowed to be you in many ways. It's your power, it's your superpower. You being you is your superpower. That's how I feel about this card. Each country has a collective national personality that affects all of its inhabitants. Russia's vibrational pattern is one of determination, intensity, and relentlessness. The passion of intent is both Russia's greatest strength and its greatest weakness. The current Russian political revolution opposes the doctrine which everyone once single-mindedly embraced. Instead, now, there are many disparate views that are just as obstinately endorsed, each by its own group of zealots. And that is a warning with this card as well, that it can be very overbearing, overpowerful, over-controlling, but it's not in reverse. If it had come out in reverse, I would probably be more inclined to use those words. But there is still a warning with that. It can kind of go to your head, this energy. It can make you feel kind of grandiose and kind of bigger and better and superior. Warring communities blindly follow their ideals to the death. They are too caught up in unyielding devotion to their particular flavour of nationalism to stop the madness. This is not commitment, this is fanaticism. Russia's commitment to its principle has made it a great nation. However, unswerving devotion, no matter how well intended, can often run roughshod over those in its path. Today, Russia is desperately trying to regain its sense of balance. Why have we presented this lengthy discourse on Russia? We want you to appreciate that commitment to one's ideals or to a cause can be a noble goal, but like Russia, one can become fixated and single-minded. Do not let your worthwhile intentions cloud your perspective and become your undoing. Balance and flexibility are necessary to achieve and maintain success. And that's another thing, this card can be very inflexible, this energy, sorry, can be very inflexible, very kind of solid and almost kind of stubborn. Do not allow your devotion to a cause to completely overtake your life without realising it. It is possible to become overzealous and move from the position of advocate to fanatic. Being a martyr is a sacred assignment, but one that is unnecessary for most of you to undertake. Most of you will not be called upon to die for your beliefs. Whatever you dedicate yourself to, be sure you enrich the experience and it enriches you. Let your commitment, that's what I feel that card is about as well, the enrichment that you didn't get, not being fulfilled. Let your commitment be an important part, but only part of a rich, diverse existence. The atmosphere surrounding commitment can be a potentially pious and self-righteous one. People can begin feeling sanctimonious about their important mission. Good intentions, originally born of sincerity, can create a holier-than-thou, us and them mentality. Russia took itself too seriously. We hope you can avoid making the same mistake. It is also possible to become confused as to your role in leading others towards the truth. If you begin seeing yourself as a saviour, you know you are in trouble. Your involvement is not intended as an ego trip. Leave your personality out of the equation. Maintain a sense of internal balance by remembering your role as an instrument for universal love and light and guidance. Universal goodness is working through you. You cannot save the world, but you can help others. The third eye chakra is the centre of inner knowing. We are its helpmate, bringing our purple energy to help you remember your commitment to yourself and the rest of existence. The universe offers you encouragement in your practice of dedication. We can help by sending you a lighter, balanced energy of commitment, instead of the heaviness and obsession of extremism. And that's what I feel that's about as well, this lightness, this kind of lighter, this kind of clarity and understanding of things. That it doesn't have to be like heavy. You don't have to be in the dark. The third eye chakra is the centre of inner knowing. We are its helpmate, bringing our purple energy to help you remember our commitment to yourself and the rest of existence. So purple is definitely quite important to you Leos at the moment, I feel. Connecting with your higher energy, your chakra, higher chakra energy. Although this is third eye as well. Working with the third eye. We can help by sending you a lighter, balanced energy commitment. Okay, I read that. We can also inspire you by reinforcing your natural desire for a better world. We invite you to work with us. And you got the world twice here, Leo. So it is kind of saying to me that there is this, and also he's holding the world in his hand as well. So there is big change, I feel, coming in your life at this moment in time. There's shifting, there's kind of moving out of one cycle and into another cycle, into a new beginning in many ways. Be sure that along the way you have some fun as you devote your life to meaningful work. Enjoy yourself. As you like to say, lighten up. Be serious about your work, but be just as serious about your play. Even with the best of intentions, if you are totally consumed by your work, you will not bring the highest good to the project. Balance is the healthy way to approach any project or to live your life. And that's what I feel that's about as well, this balance, balancing up of the masculine and the feminine, which also is shown up here, as I was saying earlier, with the Emperor and the Empress energy, balancing it up within yourself. And by doing so, you will also attract that energy to yourself as well. You will attract a better masculine energy or a better feminine energy if you balance it up first within you. So, I'm going to leave your reading there, I think. Just have a quick look and see. Just briefly, take a look at the commitments you already have. Do you honour them? How much time do you devote to them? Have you either neglected or become obsessed by them? Are you leading a well-balanced life full of meaningful work and fun? Devote your energy to making the earth a happier, cleaner and kinder place to live. Dedicate yourself to the well-being of your fellow earthmates and your universal brothers and sisters. So that's the stone here, Kyrite. You may want to find yourself a piece of that, Leo. I'm not sure how easy it is to get hold of, but you might want to work with it, some of you. If you're feeling that you need commitment to something and you're not committing yourself to something, or something doesn't feel as though it's committing to you either, then maybe a piece of this will help you to get that balance better for commitment. And so with that, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening to my reading, Leos, and thank you very much to anybody who has thumbs up my videos. Please could you thumbs up this video too and give it a like so that it can get out into the bigger YouTube world. Also, thank you for everybody who's subscribed so far. If you haven't subscribed and you're listening now, please could you do so if you so wish, and also tap that bell so that you will get the future videos that I will be putting out there also. And I think that's everything else. Maybe you could share it as well before I go, very quickly sharing it to people who you think may also find some value in the message that has been put out here today. And I think that is everything. In these difficult times, please, Leos, take care of yourselves and also take care of those around you that you can. And I wish you all the best and hope to see you again soon.